the ancient manuscript and storm over the city. What if a single story could save a city or doom it? Buried in dust, a manuscript waits to whisper secrets centuries old. Some words survive even when the world around them crumbles away. Rain spatters across the cobblestones of Constantinople as young scribe Elara crouches over a fragile manuscript, her fingers trembling with reverence. The ink is faint, worn by centuries, yet the words pulse with a life she cannot explain. Outside, the city trembles. Rumors of an approaching siege twist through alleyways like smoke. Merchants shuttered their shops, mothers clutch children, and sentries hurry along the walls, their armor clanking in tense rhythm with the storm. But Elara's heart hammers. She reads aloud under her breath, her voice mingling with the roar of thunder. Tales of cities rising and falling, heroes lost and found, and worlds imagined from ink alone. Something in the story seems to know her, not just her actions, but her choices, her doubts. For the first time, she wonders if stories themselves are alive, shaping destiny instead of merely recording it. Meanwhile, across time, a child named Finn stumbles upon the same tale centuries later in a quiet Idaho library. Dust motes swirl in the sunlight as he turns the yellowed pages, enchanted by the adventures of a city much like his own. Unlike Elara, Finn reads in comfort, unaware of the danger these words once faced. Yet he feels a strange resonance, as if the story is calling him forward, urging him to imagine more than what is present, to believe in survival beyond immediate fear. Back in Constantinople, Elara slips the manuscript into her cloak just as the first attackers appear beyond the city gates. Sparks of fire crackle along the wooden barricades, illuminating her resolve. She does not know if she can save the city, but she knows she must save the story. Across time, Finn will one day understand that stories endure where people cannot. The manuscript's faint glow intensifies as the city trembles, suggesting forces beyond comprehension are at work. Will Elara survive to pass it on, nor will this story be lost to history? Even as walls crumble and rain soaks the streets, some words refuse to fade. Across centuries, across realities, their quiet persistence asks, what will you preserve when all else is fleeting? Could a story written centuries ago guide the choices of tomorrow? A single manuscript travels through time, carrying secrets no one fully understands. What if the stories we read aren't just stories, but maps to our own survival? In Idaho, the morning sun strikes the library's dust-flecked shelves, illuminating the worn manuscript that Finn has carried home. He spreads the pages across the kitchen table, scanning the faded text with a careful eye. Symbols and patterns leap out to him, now ciphers hidden in plain sight. His fingers trace them as if they are alive, whispering guidance from centuries past. Finn senses the weight of responsibility. If the manuscript falls into the wrong hands, its wisdom might be lost forever. Meanwhile, in Constantinople, Elara navigates the ruins of a partially destroyed village outside the city walls. Smoke curls over crumbled towers, children cling to their parents, and neighbors band together, sharing what little food and shelter remain here. Courage is forged in small acts. A water jug passed quietly to a trembling family, a fire doused just in time to save a sheltering child. Bonds of loyalty form rapidly among strangers, and Elara learns that survival depends not only on skill or courage but on trust. Back in Idaho, Finn discovers a hidden section in the manuscript, pointing to a mysterious location in the nearby mountains. With a few friends wise beyond their years, they embark on a cautious journey, testing both their bravery and the strength of their friendship. Every step forward mirrors the courage displayed by Elara centuries before. Finn realizes that the manuscript is more than a story. It is a guide for making choices that matter, a bridge between imagination and action. Far above the Earth, aboard the interstellar vessel Aurora, Lieutenant Kael pores over the same tale, stored digitally in the ship's archives. Humanity's survival in the distant cosmos depends on lessons coded into the ancient story. As Kael deciphers parallels between the city's struggles and their own journey to a new world, the manuscript becomes a touchstone, offering hope in the vast emptiness of space. Kael feels the same awe that Finn felt, the same urgency that Elara experienced, as the story threads through time like an invisible lifeline. Conflict surfaces in each timeline. In Constantinople, raiders threaten the last safe haven. In Idaho, Finn and his friends confront greedy collectors who would hoard the manuscript. In space, Kael faces a failing life support system that tests both strategy and moral judgment. Across centuries and light years, the narrative reveals the fragile balance of trust, courage, and sacrifice. In Constantinople, a young apprentice, Samir, offers his only water to save a stranger, cementing a bond that will outlast the siege. Finn's friend Naya insists on rescuing a rare historical artifact hidden in a cave, risking exposure. Kael must decide whether to divert precious resources to save a crew member or preserve the mission. Each decision reflects the manuscript's underlying lesson. True heroism requires weighing loss against the greater good, and growth often comes from impossible choices. Through subtle echoes, the timelines converge. Finn deciphers patterns that Elara wrote, unknowingly following her guidance. Kael encounters a digital map left by Finn's ancestor. Elara notices a small symbol in the manuscript she had overlooked, hinting at a connection beyond comprehension. The manuscript becomes a silent mentor, urging characters to see beyond immediate survival and embrace a larger vision of resilience and human connection. Cliffhanger as the Idaho group reaches the cave where the manuscript hints a secret lies. The ground trembles unexpectedly, something ancient, unseen, and dangerous awakens. Will they uncover the secret in time, or has the story led them into peril? Closing reflection 1020 seconds. Across centuries, across galaxies, courage and friendship echo through time. Every choice shapes a path unseen, and every act of trust becomes a legacy. What will you preserve when the world challenges everything you know? Sometimes survival demands the hardest choices, and not all of them can be undone. The story is older than the city, older than the stars, but even it has limits. Every action leaves a mark. Some vanish, others echo through time. The sun sets over Constantinople, casting long shadows across the ruins of the city. Elara moves silently among them, clutching the manuscript to her chest. Families hide in makeshift shelters, their faces pale but resolute. The siege has claimed much, yet hope endures in the quiet acts of sacrifice. Samir shields a group of children from a collapsing wall, while Elara risks capture to deliver medicine to a trapped family. The city seems to exhale, holding its breath as history teeters on a knife's edge. In Idaho, Finn and his friends descend into the hidden cave, the flickering torchlight revealing carvings that mirror the manuscript's symbols. As they advance, Naya discovers a concealed trap. One wrong step could trigger a landslide. Finn hesitates, realizing that moving forward could cost a life. The manuscript, their guide and guardian, offers no answers about the moral weight of risk. They must choose between caution and courage, each decision irreversible, shaping not only their fate, but the story's legacy. Meanwhile, aboard the Aurora, Kael confronts a catastrophic system failure. Oxygen levels plummet, threatening the entire crew. A critical choice appears: sacrifice the ship's research archives, including the digital manuscript, to save the crew, or preserve the knowledge at the cost of human life. Kael hesitates, the manuscript's lessons echoing in their mind. True heroism is measured in impossible decisions, and even a preserved story cannot erase loss. Ultimately, Kael redirects power to life support, watching the digital copy of the manuscript flicker as data is lost. Across time, subtle connections emerge. Symbols Elara once highlighted appear in the Idaho cave. Markings left by Finn's ancestor guide Kael's hands in recalibrating the failing ship. Each timeline influences the others in small, almost imperceptible ways, like ripples on a pond. These echoes demonstrate that actions, sacrifices, and loyalty are threads in a tapestry larger than any one life. Explosions tear through streets. Smoke obscures the sun. Elara, carrying the manuscript, confronts a band of raiders who threaten the last surviving families. In a desperate act, she uses knowledge gained from the manuscript to distract the attackers, allowing others to escape. But she is caught in the fray, sustaining injuries that may never fully heal. The manuscript survives, hidden, but at the cost of her previous freedom and security, and irreversible choice that changes her life forever. In Idaho, Finn and Naya narrowly escape the cave's collapse, manuscript fragment in hand. Their bond has been tested by danger, by moral dilemmas, by the weight of history itself. Neither is the same person who entered. Courage and loss have rewritten them. Finn realizes that stories are more than entertainment. They are repositories of human experience, carrying lessons, courage, and hope across generations. Back on the Aurora, Kael records a final log in the ship, archives before the remaining copies of the manuscript are permanently encoded across multiple nodes in the Galaxy S network. Though some data is lost, the story survives in forms beyond physical space. The echoes of Elara and Finn's choices have guided this act, and Kael understands that survival is not only about the self, but about preserving knowledge, relationships, and hope for future generations. Across time and space, the manuscript rests in hidden hands, fragile yet unbroken. Will its next readers understand the echoes of sacrifice, or will they be forced to make their own impossible choices? Even in moments of loss and danger, stories endure. Each choice leaves a mark. Each sacrifice becomes a thread connecting past, present, and future. When the world challenges everything, what will you preserve and what will you let go? Some stories outlive us all, carrying hope we didn't know we needed. A tale written long ago still whispers across time. Will anyone listen? Memory is a story. Stories are memory, and memory shapes everything. Decades after the siege, Constantinople's ruins have transformed into a patchwork of rebuilt streets and quiet gardens. Elara walks among the stones, the manuscript long hidden, yet she carries its lessons in her heart. She recalls Samir's courage, the families she saved, and the choices that left her forever altered. Time has softened the sharp edges of loss, but the imprint of sacrifice remains vivid. A reminder that growth often comes from what we endure rather than what we triumph over. In Idaho, Finn now guides a small group of young readers through the labyrinthine library archives, sharing stories that inspired him as a child. The manuscript fragment is safely preserved, encoded digitally for longevity, but its true magic lies in the conversations, questions, and imagination it sparks. Children huddle over pages, eyes wide, debating the meaning of courage, sacrifice, and loyalty. Finn smiles quietly, knowing that while the story survives on paper and code, its true power is in human hearts. Far beyond Earth, Kael reflects while orbiting a distant exoplanet. The Aurora sails through the void, carrying not only the remnants of humanity, but the encoded echoes of stories from millennia past. Kael watches the stars, recognizing patterns, symbols, and lessons that originated in a city long gone. Though the manuscript was partially lost in the earlier crisis, its spirit endures, guiding choices, inspiring hope, and reminding those who travel through darkness that resilience is timeless. Across timelines, subtle, almost imperceptible connections continue to ripple. The courage Elara showed, the curiosity Finn embraced, and Kael's sacrifices echo through generations. Friends, strangers, and descendants inherit not only the story, but the wisdom embedded within it. Each reader interprets it differently, making it their own, and in doing so, the story lives on ever-changing, yet timeless. In the quiet, reflective moments, the characters recognize that survival was not the only measure of their journey. Friendship, memory, curiosity, and hope matter just as much. The manuscript, once fragile and secret, has become a living testament Human resilience persists even when empires fall, libraries burn, or stars vanish. Every choice mattered, yet no single path was definitive. Life, like the story, remains open-ended, a tapestry woven from countless decisions, risks, and echoes of love and courage. A new reader discovers the manuscript fragment centuries later. Their fingers trace familiar symbols, and a spark of wonder ignites. But will they recognize the lessons or face choices the manuscript has never warned them about? The cycle of connection, curiosity, and courage begins anew. Stories outlive empires, lives, and stars. They are carried in memory, in courage, and in choices that ripple through time. Some questions remain unanswered, some paths uncertain, but in every reader, the story begins again. What will you carry forward when all else fades?